Quarantine 2020. These are questions put to some of my friends in the May of 2020 when we had been in quarantine for only a few weeks and all of this was still very new to us. This year has been strange enough to deserve a historical record. I hope to revisit these same ladies in a few months and see how they and their answers have evolved.
So my answer to that would be I wish, but no, it hasn't. I am kind of still doing all the things that I was doing before quarantine, which is kind of cooking and cleaning and dishes and laundry. That's still kind of in my realm. But my kids and my husband, they are more receptive to helping out with things that I need help with, in the sense that, if I have an early morning meeting and then, they are okay with getting breakfast for themselves or for each other, making tea for me, or giving me a cup of coffee, just kind of trying to stay behind the zone of the camera and then, giving me my coffee, that sort of thing.
Definitely changed. I mean, my husband, Govind, he has become more supportive and is there in the kitchen with me, helping around with dishes, be it dishes or cooking at times. Kids, I think they're more receptive. I have an older daughter and she's become more receptive in helping out. She's a little lazy, but yes, I would say.
My husband has always been helpful. So no questions there. I mean, he has always been doing his part and he's still doing it. So that is a great thing. Bacche have become more lazy. It's a lockdown, fine, but they are locked down into their rooms.
No, I don't think that the dynamics has changed for our family. I keep reading how some women are finding it harder in that more of the housework has become their responsibility now, but it is not true for our family. My husband always used to help and I don't in any way feel like I'm doing extra work because of the pandemic.
In terms of like as a general situation, there's a lot more work than our usual days, like before COVID, because we've gone through phases, how things have changed. I think in the beginning, I was doing a lot more at home when the quarantine like started. But I think now we are at a much equitable place, I would say. Now my husband does does some of the work and quite a bit actually. He does quite a bit of work, and I think he almost now it has become like it has normalized itself.
So we did have a housekeeper help before, and so after all the COVID happened, we asked her not to come for a while. So it's been 2 months where basically we've been doing all the house cleaning, everything by ourselves, and it's been actually a really good experience for my kids because they've had to learn how to do all these chores which they didn't have to do before. And I love that because I don't think they ever would have been in that position to do so much around the house, but now.
Something that has actually pleasantly surprised me is that the kids' siblings, now that they're at home, they're spending more time with each other and they're trying to figure out each other's strengths. So, which was not the case earlier. They hardly had much time as they were going to school, and my daughter being in high school, so she didn't have much time, but now she's figuring out the strengths of the little one.
I have started watching TV in the night with my younger one. So that is a good thing because there is no rush to go back to bed because you have to go to school tomorrow, you have to get up early. So that is a good thing. So I really enjoy spending time with my younger one. My older one being a teenager, she doesn't need anybody in the world. Her expectation is when I come down, food should be ready. Don't call me before that and don't make me stay after that. I don't care what you're doing or who you are.
I am pleasantly surprised to see that my kids actually do the chores assigned to them. Maybe it's just that they also have more time, they have more energy because they're not going out, they're at home, they need some kind of a break from their phone, I suppose. But yeah, it has pleasantly surprised me that they empty and load the dishwasher, they help with laundry. It's just, yeah, I'm very happy about this. I hope it continues even after the pandemic.
Definitely the schoolwork, because they're very independent with that. So we don't have to really get on them to, it's time for homework. They have their own check-ins with their teachers every morning, and then after that they start working. So they're pretty disciplined with that, and I'm surprised and I'm happy that it hasn't affected our work schedule as much. We help them here and there, but we don't have to babysit them.
They have surprised me in the sense that my daughter is actually very receptive to kind of helping me out in cooking. So she's shown such an interest in, doing things. She will search up recipes and she will be like, let me help you with this. And she's even shown interest in not just in, fun, fancy stuff like cakes and cookies and stuff, but also in our regular day-to-day Indian food. So that has been really good.
So my daughter, who is 7, she actually has very pleasantly surprised me. She's way more organized than I thought for a 7-year-old. Very independent in so many things, which I did not think of her before. Yeah, so she does a lot of things that I didn't think she would do. So, I don't know if it's just my kids or if all kids do this. They've become almost like they have this selective hearing where they would not respond. And that drives me crazy. It's like, why aren't you at least acknowledging that I'm calling you? So that's my biggest pet peeve. And that's what starts the yelling match. Yeah.
So I keep nagging my older one, ki, okay, Sanvi, see how I'm making the chapati, see how I'm doing the tadka. That girl will barely come and she'll make a face, but I keep nagging it. I wish I could utilize this time more usefully with them, teaching them at least one skill. That has not happened. So I've yelled a couple of times, but now I've given up. I mean, I know I'll regret the moment I'll step out of the house, and life will be normal. I'm like, oh, I had so many months. I could have achieved this with them or done this with them, could have spent quality time with them. I've given up.
Well, it kind of ties into the homework because they were just getting so addicted to their gaming, and in between while they were doing homework, they'd take a break, and then half an hour later they were still on the game. So we basically told them, look, no gaming during homework time. And we took it away for a day or two, and that straightened them out. So I think the loss of that privilege kind of scared them, and now they're pretty good with just like they game, but it's not an all-day thing. They love playing with other toys and making things and Lego and stuff. So
I think one thing that really I would like to see is that my kids wake up in the morning and they right away take a shower, change their clothes, and are, dressed up, looking nice, even if we are staying home. Though they would rather just walk around all day in their night suits, and I have, talked to them nicely about it. I have yelled at them for it, but it doesn't do anything. So I have at this point given up. I have just recently gone and ordered a few night suits for each of them so that at least whatever they're wearing, it's kind of a middle ground for both of us.
So there's a lot of things, but the one that really comes to mind is, like I said earlier, that, the really good thing is we're all eating dinner together or lunch together at the table. But what precedes that point is really hair pulling for me, because that means that, once the table is set, I start calling them to come to the table for that meal. It is like, oh my God, I have to call like 10 times. And that really bothers me because, I've I went to all this trouble to serve them like a hot meal. And if you don't come to the table and I have to keep calling your name, that irritates me a lot. And they know that.
Yes, I mean, there is one specifically, there's one thing that I have been very particular in my life is waking up early, which is something that I see that is not the case with my kids, and especially my daughter, who tends to sleep late. And that really bogs me down. Like, it really bothers me. So at times, yes, I've pulled my hair, I've been upset, raised my voice a couple of times, but I wouldn't say I've shouted actually, but yes, I did raise my voice.
Has she changed?
She hasn't.
Okay.
Teenagers,